Hello and welcome to this guide that will aim to explore the weapons utilised by the galaxy's greatest hunters. As a race of intergalactic killers, you would expect the Yautja to possess a plethora of specialised tools that allow them to dispatch their quarry in a range of creative ways. Armaments that suit different purposes, scenarios, and types of prey. This video will not be a definitive inventory of the Yautja's entire arsenal, but rather an elaborate guide of some of their most notable munitions. The video will not include mobile weapons found on Yautja vehicles, but instead categorise the ordnance used by individual warriors when on the hunt. We will therefore begin with the most rudimentary weapons and work our way up to the most devastating tools of mass destruction. So let's begin with some close quarters weapons. Blunt instruments. Our first category will focus on close quarters Yautja weapons that do not possess sharp edges or penetrating points, but are designed to inflict blunt force trauma on the intended target. Examples of these include the flail used by Ram and the war club seen in Predator hunting grounds. Finally, the power punch glove made famous by Wolf in AVPR is another blunt force tool that is destructive enough to smash through solid concrete. Bladed weapons. Short blades. Our next series of munitions look at short-bladed weapons designed for close encounters. These include axes used by more primitive Yautja warriors, but also ceremonial daggers utilised by the predators in the Isolated clan seen in 2004's AVP. However, the most iconic short-blade weapon utilised by the Yautja warrior is of course the retractable wrist blades. These serrated knives are built into the wrist gauntlet and have multiple purposes that include close quarters combat and the ritualistic mutilation of prey. Mid-range combat. Long blades. In addition to the standard wrist blades, some Yautja have used the scimitar, an elongated and enlarged singular variation that is traditionally worn on the forearm. Similarly, the predator known as Scarface was known for brandishing a maul during the events of Concrete Jungle. Finally, numerous predators have become synonymous for wielding various types of swords. The individual known as Big Red had an affinity for samurai culture and possessed a katana, whilst Greyback had what is known as the Elder Sword. Polearms. For even greater range, some Yautja have become masters of polearms, such as the combi stick that was made famous by the City Hunter in Predator 2. This retractable spear has since become a real staple in any Yautja's arsenal and can be used in hand-to-hand combat or thrown at targets. A lesser known Yautja polearm is the scythe, which also comes in plasma form where the blades consist of superheated energy. The Hive Wars predator, for instance, was renowned for using the scythe when stranded on Xenomorph Prime. Finally, the third polearm weapon is the glaive, which was wielded masterfully by Deshande when battling multiple Xenomorphs simultaneously. This weapon is also available with plasma blades. Flexible bladed weapons. The last type of bladed weapon available to Yautja is the flexible form found on whips and nooses. The latter was used by the unblooded warriors as a stealth weapon during their rite of passage hunt in Antarctica. Alternatively, the elite warrior Wolf would use his bladed whip to slice through the Pred alien in the final battle of AVPR. Long distance combat. Thrown weapons. For longer range combat, predators have used an array of weapons to give them the advantage, such as an electroshock bolas that electrocutes its victims on impact. Other individuals have used a variation of the shuriken, such as Scar in AVP. However, in my opinion, the most awesome thrown Yautja weapon is the smart disc in its various forms. While some Yautja have used the poly nanovibronic version, I do prefer the traditional type, utilised by the City Hunter in Predator 2. This self-guiding bladed disc can be used in hand-to-hand combat, as demonstrated by Harrigan in his fight with the aforementioned Yautja. Finally, another item of Yautja technology that can be repurposed as a weapon is the dissolving liquid used by Wolf in AVPR. This highly corrosive chemical dissolves organic material and can therefore be used offensively if thrown at an adversary. Projectile weapons. This collection of arms can offer greater range to the previous types, but do not need to be propelled manually. Weapons like the spear gun can fire small metal darts, like the one seen in Predator 2. The recent video game Hunting Grounds has also had some Yautja, most commonly female, use bow and arrows during hunts. Other projectile devices have included the electroshock missile battery deployed by the soldier caste of Yautja known as the Military Hydra. However, my personal favourite is the net gun introduced in Predator 2, which causes excruciating pain to the intended victim before ensuring their demise. Directed energy weapons. This section of the armoury looks at energy-based munitions and houses some of the deadliest weapons. Perhaps the most well-known weapon that we all associate with the Predator is the shoulder-mounted plasma caster that was first seen in the original movie. This ranged weapon fires bolts of high-energy plasma and is typically aimed through the Predator's biomask. The discharged bolts will explode in a burst of plasma shrapnel upon impact, causing grievous wounds to the target, a truly formidable weapon. However, there are other variations of this gun, such as the handheld plasma pistol used by Wolf in AVPR, as well as various Yautja in hunting grounds. Furthermore, Deshanda used a burner, which almost acted as a rifle variant of the plasma pistol. In addition to these plasma weapons, Predators will often be equipped with an energy flechette, a less powerful version of the plasma caster that is built into the wrist gauntlet. More destructive plasma weapons have also included the Blazer, another shoulder-mounted energy projector used by the military Hydra, and the Kill Screen Generator, which uses dark plasma streams to intercept any incoming enemy projectiles. Placed weapons. Aside from long-ranged weapons, Predators also use more stationary placed tools, such as bear traps seen in hunting grounds and the proximity mines utilised by Wolf in AVPR. These weapons lie hidden until they are triggered by unsuspecting enemies, however the remote bomb can also be activated via the wrist gauntlet. Explosive weapons. Our final category of Yautja weapons are arguably the most formidable, as they are the explosive types. Some of the thrown explosive weapons used by Yautja have included firebombs and plasma grenades, which can generate large explosions. Ultimately, the Predator's greatest weapon of mass destruction should only be used as a last resort, as it is so formidable that it destroys anything in the immediate vicinity, including the Yautja that triggered it. This is the aptly named self-destruct device and is built into the Predator's wrist gauntlet. This weapon is normally deployed when the hunter has failed the mission and wishes to commit honourable suicide. And on that note, we reach the end of this video. Of course, there are more weapons, so please list anything that I excluded in the comment section. I hope that you enjoyed this list of munitions utilised by the galaxy's greatest hunters. Please let me know if you liked the presentation of this video and which were your favourite Predator weapons. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again in future uploads. Take care.